chapter 2. And with that said, around 2015, that's what our history is about. Wow. So they really did exist in the other world. Huh? In England, Scotland, Ireland? No? There were islands outside of here? Like France and Italy? There are so many countries all around, and there's so many people. And everybody had their own little culture here and there. Wow. I'll never be able to imagine such a thing, but I believe you came from a wonderful place, haven't you? But damn, Britain doesn't have any fairies, huh? It sounds refreshing and kind of fun. And if you look at it from Protag's perspective, the land of the entire utopian fairy sounds kind of more fun too. But I'm going to make sure that certain things are in order. The proper human history, or pan-human history, the Protag's world, the fact that the fairy didn't exist is false. Even though the ages of the gods, right, the ages of the mystics and the gods slowly started to disappear from the world, but fairies still reside here and there. Well, after all, we're the type of people that never really showed up in front of humans, or at least masses of them. And I'm part of that, I'm part of that heroic spirit that doesn't show up too much. Oh yeah, Obero, aren't your story about... That's right, the Midnight Summer Dreams, right? The great Shakespeare, great Shakespeare who wrote the play. He's the one who wrote the fairy tale. Well, in human terminology, to put it simply, it was a love triangle kind of ordeal, I guess. And it's me that comes out, and the queen, Titania. Obero wanted to take Titania's heart, and because of that, I accidentally give that person the love potion, right? Love potion that says whoever wakes up, the first thing you see in front of you will fall in love. But unfortunately, two people got absolved into the love potion, and when they looked at each other, yep. And when they looked at the first person they looked, even though they were supposed to be lovers that would forever and ever be together, they forgot all about that, and they eternally think that the opposite people, so essentially, they become the lovebirds, and then blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. Well, things happen, and let's just say the ending would be, let me just put the ending in my sheath, just in case. It's one of those classic mini plays that talks about love going out of handle, and it's always happy-go-lucky, but, well, unfortunately this little tale became super popular in the human realm, and it started talking out a bunch of towns. And, you know, now whenever you mention it about fairies, they'll always be like that rambunctious Puck, aka the Puck that likes to tease, right? Who loves Puck who loves mischief. There we go. That's the word. Pucks who love mischief, and Oberon who has a small heart because he's so paranoid. So, well, let's just say became sort of a famous fairy of his world myself. But if you ever get interested, once you get back to Karudea, make sure you read Midnight Summer. Dude, first, can we talk about I guess that shit 100%? That we're gonna get Oberon? Oh my god, I'm so happy, dude. I knew we were gonna get Oberon. Feels good, dude. Fucking pat on the back. Good job, me. Predicted that shit before any y'all motherfuckers. For the Chinese fucking Minecrafters, too. But anyway, back to reading. It says, yeah, I might be a king that might have some problems here and there. But let's just let that slide, alright? I swear here, but I never meant to have any, ill intent in the first place. I just, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that my beautiful lover and the person that I've fallen in love with, I wanted to have her attention, all her attention, and it was just it was all just meant to no harm. So, Mr. Oberon, you're not an actual fairy. You're a character that came into a story? Wait, something like that can become a servant? It says, you're quite correct. He does only showed up in the Midnight Summer, a play that is very popular. But in quote-unquote Fairy King Oberon itself, has been told ever since in the Nordic side, or aka from the olden Europe. Nice. Before Shakespeare, around the 15th century, he was supposed to be, he was sang as a song as a fairy king that would grant any wishes with magic. Oh, is that so? I don't know that one. But no matter what, there was a model for it. And I guess this model became a this model became a servant. And model became model became the origin, and the origin became the servant, I guess. Well, I wonder what really am. It's the classic question of who came first, the chicken or the egg, right? I see. Then what about Titania? Oh, well, sadly, that's completely Shakespearean side there. He made all that up. So, in the fairy records, there's nobody named by that, so. Titania. Maybe it's a word on for Titan. And Titan came from the word from the Greeks, after all. And Oberon was a very selfish dude in Midnight Summer Dreams, after all. So anybody that could actually forgive his rudeness or his selfish tolerance was maybe that girl. And, of course, that girl, I mean by only be fiction. Somebody that would just be made up. Otto. I'm sorry about that. It seems that I've talked too much or something useless. From here on out, it's Salisbury. Yeah, let me deal with the guards. All you need to do is just don't say a word. After all, I can pass through this place with just my face. if your name were to be called, okay? If they ask you for your name, don't answer them. If they make you answer it, just tell them your random name. If humans find if they found you out that if they found out that you're a human, it gets very annoying, and we don't know who's listening in the first place. Please wait a moment. Isn't it dangerous to lie to a fairy? I believe some fairies have the eyes to see through the truth. So, to be perfectly honest, should we not do our very best not to lie in front of them? Oh yeah, don't worry about that. In the land of the in this utopian fairyland, most of the fairies don't have mystic eye fairy.長い英知の中、栄養の中で失われたか、あるいは妖艶のために捨ててしまったのか。Interesting. It's fine if you lie by omniscient. I mean, look. It's one of those things. Tristan is saying we shouldn't lie to fairies. They have eyes that can see the truth. And then Oberon says, don't worry about it. We don't know if they lost it because nobody, maybe they lost it because they don't use it anymore. Or in order for nourishment, they've thrown away. Like, it's essentially they didn't use it, so they lost it. Or they lost it in order to sustain themselves. You get what I mean? Because remember, these fairies got crazy by saying humans, right? And from what we heard so far, humans are limited amount of supply. So therefore, if they can lie to themselves, right? If they can technically lie to themselves, they can sustain to themselves to a certain degree. So Oberon is saying that they either lost it because they never used it, or in order to preserve themselves, they've lost it all. Because remember, if you see lies, like that shit will actually hurt them. Integrity and lore-wise. So if they can't see the lie in the first place, it doesn't matter if they get caught in a lie, as long as they can sustain or be next to a human, they can be replenished, if not able to stay longer. But don't worry, just understand that they can't really see the truth. So if the person is good or bad, we can only figure it out when the time comes. So that's the same thing with the girl that turned into a moss. Remember? Where she made it look like she was helping us. But in the end, she was trying to be very selfish, right? She was very selfish, trying to make herself, take us for her kind of deal. Even though it was like half true, half fake. If that's not the case, Morgan なんて悪が得るわけがないだろう. It says here, Morgan can't fuck around if she can't. If they can see it, they can definitely see through Morgan for sure. So essentially, they're saying that most likely they don't have the true mystic eyes or mystic eye to see the truth because they either used it or they lose it because they didn't use it, or in order to sustain themselves, they made it disappear so they can lie to themselves. So essentially, you can treat them as humans. The fairies are technically humans. They can lie, they can cheat, they can steal, they can do whatever the fuck they want. So this is Salisbury. Look, a very big church or a tower is gazing nearby. It says, I'm so happy because this air and this atmosphere is different from Cornwall. There's fairies left and right, but I feel no dangerous aura around them. Everybody is happy-go-lucky and straight up forward. It's almost as if they're in the middle of a celebration of sort. You know, this is the town's usual daily routine. This is one of the Free State of Britain. Salisbury's people is about 200,000 people. And not only just the clan of Wind, Earth, and Fangs, but natural-born fairies from nature and humans who've gained what? 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 Humans who have gained independence live among here. Humans have gained independence? What? So, essentially, it's not for anybody specific, right? And it's a human for Britain in general. And if you word it like that, technically, yeah, the person who's just for Britain is technically a human that is free. So のあたりは話はもっと落ち着いてからしようと思ったけど Well, I wanted to discuss more about that part a little more than yeah, I wanted to discuss that part a little bit more in a calm area, but I guess I can't hide it all day long. There's a big church over there, so why don't we explain while we get over there? You guys perceive that in this world of in this land utopian world of fairy, that there's no human, but it's a little bit wrong, technically. Humans do exist, but it's not that humans exist, period, as an extension of the soul. It's that, well, they're essentially a useful tool in order to make the fairy society, the societal norm of fairy functionable. Well, in proper human history term, slave is a much better term, unfortunately. It says, did you not see this town and think it was weird? Look at all around us. Something is always weird. And look, it's almost as if it's made like, oh yeah, now that you mentioned it, this is almost like a human town. That's right. And you know that fairies are supposed to be together with nature, right? Usually. 村を作るにしたって、それは大母の、大地の下の下で森の子や石の子が集まる程度だったの。It says, yes, if you make a village underneath motherland, right? Underneath that motherland, the land of the child of the forest and the child of the rocks would accumulate to that extent and nothing more. But you must understand that fairies don't have their own civilization. We don't have civilization in general. We're essentially minor spirits that kind of roamed around the planet. But, as you can see, in these fairyland, there is a human society being created for about 14,000 years ago. For about 14,000 years. 14,000 years? Yeah, 14,000 years. The fairies of Britain use humans as cattle and using them as a labor force to create a wonderful paradise and using them as nutrients. Fairies are long aged and have a very strong life force, and just by standing there, they can practically live. So they're so useful, so they don't know what engineering or learning is or growing. And because they're omnipotent or, useful, they don't do a lot of things. On the other hand, humans are nothing but weakness. Lifespan is short. If you get hurt, the wounds don't heal. They need to be fed, and if they get assaulted by beasts, they die immediately. So, in order to continue human lives, they would use knowledge and knowledge and their genuine engineering, stacking their knowledge to stacking their individuality and creations together. And perhaps because human activities were very shiny and intriguing to the fairies, so they probably just got them. So they started cultivating humans and created a civilization for exterior look. So essentially, Oberon is TLDR of that whole situation. He explains that fairies, right? He explains that fairies don't need to build houses, don't need to do anything, because they can just exist. Just standing. No eating, no nothing. And they're all powerful and they survive all day. But then compared to humans who are weak, can't heal automatically, will die of old age and, like trash. But whenever they do something like building a house, building a village, making a fire, it was kind of fascinating to them. So fairies kind of started gathering them together and kind of just started cultivating them and made them like fucking, ironically, house elves to do their bidding and to create this, structure of a human world of such. Fairies were just farming humans. Well, they were farming humans because it was funny, or like they were doing something shiny, right? Because they kind of just exist. Fairies kind of exist sometimes. They don't have a purpose, but they get attracted to something intriguing. And humanity, is intriguing because it's nothing more than them fighting for their lives to, come up with inventions and creations and whatnot. So what happened is that the fairies would purposefully gather the humans together and made this quote-unquote facade of a land, right? Facade of the human societal. But they're technically treated as slaves because fairies, like I told you, good luck charm. But except fairies, good luck charm us, it's the other way around. And Oberon is saying here is that all the ingenuity, farm works, engineering, farm works, ingenuity, construction, building, sculpting, and many different questions and breakthroughs. They would ignore all the insides to take it, and they would build exactly the same thing. It's just imitation. And after all, imitation is nothing more than a facade. And with a little magical energy, it's easy to make a replica. And above all else, this fucking church. You do know fairies have no gods, and there's no religion that fairies will follow. But look at that stupid big big church. There was no reason for them to make it. The reason they made it is because it looked and sounded fun, so they made it. And that's the civilization of fairies, and that's how they're going to treat humans. So what you're saying is they're just copying humanity's civilization. You're just Chinesing it up. Well, if you want to say it easily, yeah, they're ripping us off. Oberon's like, yeah, fairies don't have to do anything. Fairies got no god, right? Fairies got no god, so there's no reason for you to create this church. This entire place is made by magic. There's nothing inside. It's just a facade. But, you know, they snap their fingers and they can make the exterior look exactly like human ingenuity. They don't care about how long it took or how hard they had to do to work some things. They snap a finger and then voila. It's the same concept of Camelot, right? Where Camelot technically was created by the fairies to an extent. "例えば違うエド、僕も妖精だ。ここまでカリキュラはどうか思うけど、人間が教えるほどしかいなかった世界において彼らがこうなってしまうのも理解できる。It says, but I'm a fairy myself, so bashing my kind is a little bit more, little hurtful in my own way. But then again, you gotta understand, if there's only a handful of humans in this world, it would be understandable that these guys would resort to something like this in the first place. Even in the pan-human history, aka the true history, and even in this Lostbelt, to a fairy, humans are nothing more than boredom executioner. Meaning that humans are essentially items to cure boredom. And remember, boredom kills a witch, and boredom kills the witch, and boredom is one of the most deadliest. I wouldn't say deadliest magic, but stagnation can kill. And stagnation is sometimes going to revert, which will be the Beast 2 effect, where if everything goes back in reverse, people can die or, stagnate. So humans are nothing more than luxury items to cure their own boredom. In order to make that happen, in order to make it proper setup and watching over them, asphyxiated, that is the society of the fairyland. And your enemy, Queen Morgane's little charade to maintain order. It says, oh my god, Mr. Protag, are you going to fight Morgane? Well, at this moment, for now, yes. Ain't that right, Protag? Well, I don't know exactly the situation, but we definitely need to see the Lostbelt King, for sure. But first, we need to meet up with those two immediately. Ototo, you're absolutely right on that, and we shouldn't mistake our priorities. So let's go to the bar, shall we? Let's take a little, let's go to the bar. It's best if we go grab an information where there is many people gathering and hearing things here and there. Dots. What's wrong, Artoria? Why'd you stop moving? Well, I'm grateful for Mr. Protect to save me, and I still have a debt to owe you, but if they're going to fight with Empress Morgane, if they're going to fight with Empress Morgane, if I'm just with them, I'll just be in their way, right? If Yeah, I was thinking that I should follow him until we find, or yeah, I should. I think I should. I was thinking that I should follow him. I think he finds Miss Mash, but I think leaving, yeah, separating us here and now might be a good choice. Uh-huh. Anyway, Artoria. In this town, do you remember how this town was found and when people were found in this place? Do you remember what happened? クジラ逃げ出して脱走者と捕まってニューダリトンに送りだ。ニューダリトンって都立殺戮劇場のダリトン。So Oberon's like Omega lol. He's like low-key threatening Artoria, but at the same time, like he's creating an excuse for Artoria to stay with us. And so Oberon is, do you know what happens to a human who doesn't have an owner in this town, right? Do you know the punishment here? Yeah, if you're an escapee from a farm, if you're an escapee from the farm and get caught, you're going straight to New Darlington, like New York, New Darlington. New Darlington, oh my god, like that Darlington, the quote-unquote national masquerade play Darlington. You got three options that says national mass murder. What? That doesn't sound very peaceful, but this is a town of Salisbury of freedom, right? I believe the Clan of Wind is the mayor of this place, so something horrendous and cruel punishment like that shouldn't... Well, you do understand. Even if... Yeah, you gotta understand, though. Even if it is the clan... the Elder Clan member of... Elder Clan member of the Wind, right? You can't deny the decision that the Queens have made. And besides, anybody that can help us out and a little more trustworthy around here would be appreciated. After all, Oberon, please stop fucking talking like I'm a human, okay? You're the one who needs to shut your whore mouth. Because his protag doesn't know his right or left, and he's always gonna get confused and get lost, and he's a human. If there's no owner, we might get a rerun of... if we have no owner, if he has been found that he's not an owner, a round 2 of the Nameless Forest might occur. But as you can see, I'm already a prince. I'm already looking like a prince, so... 実際にわからない理解を自分の記者して言い張るのは無理があるけど。Yeah, since I'm a prince, it's a little impossible for me to say, it's a little impossible for me to say that I know this guy or my friend, he's considered my friend or anything. But you and Protag seems to go, can get along pretty well. I'm not asking for you to be with us forever, but just please company with us until we're out of Salisbury. After all, it's much more convenient for you that way too, right? It's better than being alone, after all. Well, I agree. If you're all alone, you're gonna get forced into something, or troubles can occur in this current Britain. So, um, then if that's the case, shouldn't Toristan, isn't Mr. Tristan be more beneficial for Mr. Protag's, be Protag's owner? Well, we can definitely go for that approach, but he really doesn't know anything about this place in the first place. So, if a soldier of the clan member asks any question to him, we're gonna lose hope. That's why I didn't pick him. But, only people who could, take care or rule humans are high class fairies, and if you're high class fairies, that means that I'm going to be Protag's master, and I was only talking about hypothetically. Or do you really want to make him your pet? Um, that's that should just be only kept hypothetical, and you know, I believe it's a little. I'm a little too young for those things. Truly, really. All right, well, it's settled. So essentially, since Oberon is before we go into the bar, Oberon's like, all right, we need to keep these. We need to have a story, right? We need to have a master and a slave, and it has to happen. Since I'm a king, right? Since I'm a king, I don't want to own anything. And it's one of those things, too, that Oberon says that since I just came out of buttfuck nowhere, it'll be weird for me to try to own you, right? And Oberon's being respectful and try not to be rude. And at the same time, a prince like myself shouldn't have humans here and there willy-nilly. And in order to bind Castoria to us to a certain extent, Oberon kind of low-key threatened. You know, Artoria's like, what happens if you're all alone? If you get caught, you're going to get sent to a, murderous play camp, which probably the fairy Tristan might be in. And so with that said, it says we can't do it to Tristan because Tristan, while he might be able to play the part, he has no clue what this place is. So if any, guards or any people who suspicious of him kind of talk to him, he's going to show his flaws. So he made sure that not only Castoria leaves, but making Castoria be our owner, right? So we're technically owned by Castoria. We're Castoria's slave, quote unquote. So we can keep Castoria and keep a facade so we don't get suspicious. So Artoria is going to be a new owner for now, Protag. You okay with that? This is in order to travel safely throughout the fairyland. Can you at least put up a facade until then? Well, I'll be in your care. And if you pick the second option, it says I've got some experience when it comes to playing, or, whenever I need to play a role. Because remember, we did play a role in Salem. I see. If we are okay with that, if you're okay with that, well, I'm here already, so might as well get things over with. So it seems that I'll be still hanging around with you all just a little longer. It says, well, let's be positive, shall we? I think one of my oldest dreams came true, in my opinion. Excuse me, Miss Caster. What is it that... Yeah, what... Can I ask, what is your old dream? Oh, yes. If you're a country bumpkin fairy, it's a dream that everybody would have. You would go into the town and you would join in the ranks of the high-ranking fairies. That's what it is. Oberon was laughing because Tristan thought Artoria's old dream was to own a slave. But Artoria was just like, no, so I can be, you know, like I can become one of the high tier fairies. Like, you know, I really wanted to become a high tier fairy. Like, since we're acting, we are a high tier fairy. She's technically established as a high tier fairy because of the ownership of a human. And she's more concentrated in her being a higher fairy than owning a slave. But Tristan was like, wait, is one of your old dream owning a slave? And Oberon's just fucking like, you know, hiding his face and laughing. But with that said, it says, hello, everybody in the Salisbury. You guys living your lives to your fullest, I wonder? It's me. I'm coming in. The bothersome Oberon, the Autumn Forest Fairy King. Yeah, the mage of stories, flowers, and peace. Coming through. Oh, so this is the owner of the, he's a fairy, but he's the owner of the bar. So remember, Big Round Nose is the owner. This is, Oberon, been a while. You been doing all right? You came back to Salisbury. It says, today better not be just on the tabs, is it? Oh, I get to see Oberon's face, huh? Damn, it was it was the right idea. It was the right idea to be drinking in the afternoon, huh? So it says it's a fairy that has a wooden cup in its hand. But hey, before anything, oh my god, he's such a debt collector. He's a debt hoe. No wonder. No wonder he didn't want us to be his fairy. He has so much debt on him. So the bartender told him when you're paying your debt. This motherfucker is asking him when he's gonna pay his debt. Oberon, thank you very much. Because of your help, the back garden's tower has calmed down. But please return my money. Wonderful Oberon, you have time for me, do you not? I want you to come to our tea party this time. But please give my money back. Oh god. He's such a cast. Oh no, he's so in debt. It says, hey, welcome back. We've been waiting for you, buddy. You poor million-year debt prince. Don't worry, dude. I got you this time. But but return your debt, will ya? Everybody's like, dude, this guy is so useless. Ha 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 ha. Hey! Stop that, you peoples. I know I'm unpopular, and don't try to... I know I'm very popular. Don't try to use that against me. Yeah, try not to use that against me. I got a very important friend today with me, so please be quiet about the money. Ha 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 ha. I know, I know. Nobody's saying it for realsies. You've got something than the queen. You got something that's worth more than the queen's gold. So we'll treat you anytime for free, buddy. You're a debt. You're in debt. You're $1 million in debt. What's going on? Wait, are you poor or something? Even though you claim yourself to be the king? Well, you know. My fortune is a little tight on the money. Always is and always will. And to be perfectly honest, I've got no income coming in my way. But, you know. Hey, can you blame me? When I was summoned to this fairyland, the only thing I have was this cloak, or was this is it mantle? No, it's not mantle. It's cape. This cape. Yeah, mantle. Oh shit. I was woken up covered by leaves in the middle of the forest, exactly as worded, butt naked with a mantle. Normally, I would be super depressed and be in the corner waiting for pan-humanity's rescue, but I thought I should do something. Yeah, I thought I should do something since I was summoned so early. You guys remember, fairies live off of witnessing something funny. These guys are creatures that always wants entertainment. So I did my very best to work around. Oh, dude, did he pull off the classic? Did he pull off the naked king? The king has no clothes. Hell yeah. I'm pretty sure he pulled off the fairy tale called The King Has No Clothes. I bet he straight up marched into this fucking bar butt-ass naked and saying, you guys are an idiot. Or, you guys are an idiot if you can't see my clothes. So yeah, essentially they're saying that fairies live off of something entertaining. So I did my very best to work around this town. I sang songs, I caused problems, I told tales, and... I made the ladies, I made the ladies and the couples have fun, and created a night festives. And with that, using my words and expertise, I was able to finally establish the word nobody knows, a fairy king that has a land from far away from here. So that's how my name is known in this world of Britain. Well, at least in this, at least in this town for sure. Wow. So the reason why I didn't know Oberon was because I was a country bumpkin. Well, I'm sorry. I guess next time I should expand my horizon to different places and smaller regions too. But technically, what I had to go through was a battle on its own. Really. You know? Do you understand that I had nothing in my hand? Literally nothing but naked, but I had to move in like I was a royal? Do you understand the feelings I had to go through? Yes. 私も叫ばでは自分武神を気取り美しいご婦人を相手に恋歌のこともまれに Tristan's like, I understand how you feel. After all, in the bar, I had to I had to fake myself, aka disguise myself, in order to sing beautiful songs. In order to sing love songs to a beautiful wives and other ladies. And yeah, 多くありましたので、こういう、いえ、緊張はよくわかります。It says, I had to do it sometimes. No, I had to do it a lot of times. I understand the hardship and the difficulties, the nervousness is all understandable. Obero, as a comrade in arms, I will give you my greatest respect for what you have done. And please, if you have any rituals and tips and tricks, if you can teach me, so I will be, I'll be able to follow suit later. Damn, Tristan about to be hitting on some girls. It says, sure, I can help you out, buddy. If my plays and entertainment gets bigger and better, I think there's gonna be... I think I'll have more audience and I'll have more kin. I see. So Mr. Tristan and Mr. Oberon is exactly like exactly what I anticipated. You guys are the same types. You guys are enemy of women. I see. And Oberon, besides that, we're standing here for long. Where should we take a seat at? It says, well, I believe those one in the further back. It's very propped up. It's propped up on the second floor, and it's a round table. My quite favorite. The other customers will be difficult to witness us, but at the same time, we can see the situation of the store very easily. But first, let us cheers with this fruit drink. Oh my god. He's hitting on the waitress already. It says here, let's drink with this fruit drink that has been given. You, my lovely person, are you a new worker, perhaps? Is it MASH? Tell the bartender that we'll be using the far table in the back. And give us 4 fruit drinks, if you will. It's Da Vinci! Wait, why is fucking Oberon hitting on Da Vinci? Bruh. Understood. Thanks for your order. I'll be ready, so take your time, okay? Oh, she's roller skating. Hold up, what? That's Da Vinci! What? What? Da Vinci? Are you serious? Wow, it's really pro tag. She slid in and then she slid back.